no diggity. Welcome to this episode of the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast. We are back, and we have some big announcements.
Let's go.
Right? So we are now accepting donations for our annual turkey and toy drive. So for anyone interested in helping us raise turkeys and toys for the Rourke Center of Troy, New York, feel free to stop in the Flipper's Barbershop and either drop off a turkey, a toy, get a haircut, whatever. Yes. And you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. What's the Rourke Center do for the people?
The Rourke Center is a Catholic charities. Okay, they deal with about 200 families, I think exclusively, and all families that are worthy of the donations and stuff like that. But they do the street warriors as well. They are, I don't know the exact address, but they're located at St. Anthony's Church on 4th Street. So it's literally right down the street from Flipper's Barbershop. And we are pumped that we were able to link up with an organization so close and actually in the Troy community this year. So, So
let's go get those donations in.
Yeah, let's make it happen. And this is our favorite time of year, always. And we have a lot of fun making a positive impact in our community. Eventually, I will be trying to get the director of the Rourke Center onto the podcast, so that way we can chat with her. Her name is Elizabeth, and we can go forward with that, and I think it'll be pretty cool. Another cool announcement is that we were contacted to promote a movie that is coming out, and I believe it's coming out. I could be wrong on the details, but it's coming out on November 2nd. It'll be playing at Colony Center in Colony, New York, but it's called The Director's Cut. The director, Don Capria, I believe that's how you say it, is it's one of his first movies, I believe, and he's a local guy, I think New York City, and he's plugged in with our friends like Traj and Mike Valeni and stuff like that. So if you guys can, get out there. It's a horror flick. It's called The Director's Cut, and it'll be playing in theaters here soon. So we're going to go see it, and we'll definitely pop back with reviews, and then what we'll do is we'll try to get the director on and make that interview happen as well.
That's always exciting.
Yes, sir.
Support local arts.
Yeah, man. Speaking of which, one more announcement. We also have partnered with Mr. Green Dispensary.
Yes.
So, not in any type of sponsorship way, but again, another local, I guess a local dispensary right in the Albany area. They're located on Wolf Road, called Mr. Green. Super family-like atmosphere, and they are reasonably priced considering the prices in New York.
In New York State. Shout out Fonz.
Yep.
Congrats, man, on opening the spot.
So you know Fonz?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That is dope.
We did some work together in the past.
Nice. Yeah, man. It was so cool because, he told me about his journey getting to that point, and then he also told me about his construction company. I am Construction. And small world, bro.
Yeah.
That's huge because I didn't get a chance to talk to you about it.
No, I saw you guys linked. I was like, oh shit, the bros.
Yep. Shout out to Joe Ski, because Joe Ski made the connection, and we're hoping that going forward we can collaborate. Same thing, try to get Fonz on.
Okay.
He was open to it.
Yeah.
And
he's got a great story too. He really does.
Yeah, man, and he's such a good dude.
Yeah, he really is.
Super grateful that I was in there, and because I went in there to sports ski.
Yeah.
He's got a job there now, and I was like, yeah, bro, I'll pop in. Let's do it. And then I met Fonz.
Okay.
And then shout out to Josiah, who was the cat that helped me out with my process while I was in there, and it was dope. It was super cool.
Yeah.
Man.
What did you end up getting?
So I ended up grabbing some flour and a pre-roll. The pre-roll could have been better, but it was good. And then I grabbed Apple Jacks, which is an indica strain. Very tasty, really good. And then I believe it was White Truffle by Devil something or another.
Yeah.
So really good bud.
And it's on Wolf Road?
It's on Wolf Road.
That's a nice location, Wolf Road.
It was really cool, bro. It was right, I think it was like
They took the old Pier 1 imports.
Yeah, it was super dope, man. Like, they had a really nice setup. They were still in the process. They were going through their grand open, or their soft opening.
Yeah.
So they were still working out the kinks, but they were super polite, and they had some vendors outside that were giving out free samples. That was cool. Alchemy Pure was one of them, and then Brass Knuckles, which is like kind of like a vape company in a sense. So.
Okay.
So I linked up with all of them.
Nice.
And got as much information as I could. And then hopefully going forward, we can all collaborate and, make some shit happen. Which will be cool because if any of you guys want to sponsor us, holler.
Yes, sir.
We'll put that shit right on the table right there.
Spread.
So, yeah, but anyways, still lots of things going on. We're getting super close to the election. Right? 17
days.
17 days away. We've had some things happen. We've had Helen happen.
Yeah.
We've had Wyoming happen. Which, if anybody not, I guess, in the know of those things, we had a major hurricane hit North Carolina in Hurricane Helen. Super catastrophic. Shout out to all the people down there. Prayers up for all of them and stuff like that. And hopefully we can get those communities back together. And then also we had Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa.
We had Tampa happen, another huge hurricane that was absolutely devastating. What do you think is going on there? Do you think that there's some sort of maybe possible, conspiracy minded that there would be some weather modification there?
Yeah, from what I'm gathering, definitely now. With the deposits, you got a lot of courts. And they've been in battles with the government and BlackRock, basically, to move the people out so they could get to the deposits.
Lithium
in courts, which goes into batteries, and there's a real shortage of it in the world. So they have the largest deposits in the United States sitting in that zone. So then the way that it converged on with the floods, like once in like 1,000 year.
Right.
Usually it's 100 year. This is like 1,000 year flood. And then now FEMA's like, you shouldn't rebuild here.
Yeah, of course not. Why would you?
So, like you're in a battle to save your land. You're not moving, you won't sell. Then you get wiped out by a flood, and then they tell you can't rebuild. And then,
so now is that considered eminent domain?
Basically, it is.
Without saying it,
it's softer because they don't have to, basically force people out now.
Right. Now
they're still going to buy people out. They're saying like, we'll buy you out, but now if people's houses was there, they would have to force them, and that would be a shit show.
Right.
And shout out to all the people down there working. It's been weird with the government and FEMA, like calling them terrorists and militias and shit, and they're just trying to help people rebuild. And so it's been kind of a standoff.
What's interesting about the entire situation is that they were cutting off help. So there was, I'm not exactly sure who reported it, but there was an idea that they were flying planes in with supplies and stuff like that, and they were like turning them around. They were like, no, you can't go there, or people heading down, like you said, they were labeling them militias, they were labeling them all this other things, but these were just people that were trying to volunteer to help, and
they've been rocking it.
And what happened with the $750?
Oh man, I guess if you applied for it, the government said that they'll give you $750 for supplies or whatever. And then, that was huge because they're like, at the same time, they approved like another $40 billion for Ukraine.
For the Ukraine.
Like simultaneously. And then was like, we'll give you guys $750. And they lost everything.
Houses, livestock, family,
vehicles,
people
are missing still. It's like a real shit show.
Yeah.
So just another example of the government not taking care of the people here.
Not taking care of the people here, but at the same time almost spitting in their faces, because again, when we look at the full scale of things with FEMA. FEMA doesn't have the money to help. Like, it just doesn't have the budget, you know, and which is wild because after, I would say probably Katrina was when they started pushing up the FEMA's budget and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So now here we are, fast forward, Katrina happened in what, was it 04?
Yeah.
Was it? It might have been 04. I always get confused between that and 2014, but so whichever one. But at the same time, we realized catastrophic damage. You know.
Well, they appropriated funds from FEMA, $1 billion to go towards immigrants.
Right.
And
so prepaid credit cards.
Yeah, that
cell
money's
phones.
not intended for immigrants. It's intended for but they
federal
rerouted
emergency.
And then now the disasters happen, and they're like, we don't have money to respond to this. So it's like, come on.
Yeah. What'd you think about how DeSantis handled what was it, Milton, Hurricane Milton? Because it seemed like he saw what happened in North Carolina and I guess did the best he could in the terms of like rallying the National Guard. Like he had like all of this ready
to go
before Milton hit, you know?
Yeah, he's got the skills and talent because he's always dealing with it, you know what I mean? And it was crazy because him and Kamala were going at it. She tried to call him like 5 times.
Stop it.
He wouldn't answer.
But called Biden, right?
Yeah, and him and Biden talked, but he didn't tell her that he talked to Biden. And she's like, DeSantis is playing politics with people's lives. And DeSantis is like, we've had like 10 hurricanes. We've never heard from you.
Yeah.
And you're not in the chain of command, so why would I talk to you?
Yeah.
Like,
well, they were making a huge deal out of it too. Like, no, he wouldn't talk to Kamala. And it's like, first of all, like you said, chain of command.
Yeah.
He is supposed to be talking to the president.
So she's trying to get points.
And now it's kind of weird that she's politicking, right? So she's on the campaign trail, and now she's got to make it a thing of like, what, you know, this dude's bypassing me. Like, you are a nominee and a phony nominee, no less, because you received no Democratic Party or primary votes
whatsoever.
And you're mad because he's actually going to Biden, who's still in the chair?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yo, and Biden threw her under the bus. Like, yeah, I talked to DeSantis. He's a great governor. Like, he's on top of it. He's doing his thing. Like,
and we're doing everything we can to help him.
Yeah, so him and Biden and Harris campaign are fighting. Like, he keeps taking shots. Like, oh yeah, she signed everything, co-signed everything that I did while I was here. But she keeps saying like, no, that was his policies. And like, they got this infighting going on now between them. Like, Biden just keeps throwing shots at her.
How do you feel about, I think I tagged you in it the other day, but how do you feel about Obama coming out and basically telling men, and black men especially, that the only reason they're not voting for Kamala is because they don't want to see a female? It's almost like misogynist.
Yes, he called us misogynistic.
You know what I mean? And was like, the only thing I see from you guys is that you don't want to see a woman in office.
See a woman, yeah. It's been crazy because the black population is like straight up waking up. Like, wait a minute, these motherfuckers have been running our cities forever. Like, we've been just here, we're voting for you for 60 years. And like, Obama came out and lectured cats like, yeah, come on, brothers. Like, she went to school with you. She's from your neighborhood. Like, you guys basically should be ashamed of yourself. And we're like, nah, bro, you sold us out too. Like, well, fuck are you?
And that's why I wanted your opinion on it, because it's obviously, it applies to me as a man, but not as a black man, and in where they're almost race baiting.
Yeah.
You know, and that has always kind of bothered me, because we've always made it a point to be like, yo, we're all fucking humans.
Yeah.
Take the race away. But now we're politicking, and you have a black president who was in Obama is now playing the race politics.
Yeah, we're beyond that, man. And I've been seeing that too from out there online and shit. Like, people are just sick of that race bait and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, we're not fucking with her because, one, we didn't vote for her. She ran in a primary. We didn't vote for her.
Sure.
Like, you guys just bypassed our votes and we're just supposed to co-sign because she's a black woman. Like, that shit's insulting, you know? Like, you guys are dumb. You know what? We know what's best for you.
Yeah. Right.
Vote for Kamala.
Right. So they're telling you how to feel.
How to feel. Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah.
Which was wild to me because, and another thing I wanted to ask you too was I didn't catch it. It's one of those things where you catch it on Facebook and then it disappears, bro. But there was like apparently an intense moment between Obama and Biden at some point. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah. It was Ethel Kennedy.
Oh, her funeral.
Her funeral.
Okay.
There's some funny ass clips, like lip reading shit.
Shut up. Are they doing it for him?
Yeah, they do it for him. Bill Clinton's like, some badass bitches in here, bro. Yes. And it all syncs up. It's crazy. But yeah, they were saying like, they had a few like professional lip readers, and Joe Biden's like, how's she doing? Obama's like, not good, Joe. And Joe's like, maybe I could get back in this shit. He's like, no, Joe.
Which is crazy.
Because they forced him out. So Joe's tight. Like, fuck. She's losing to this cat. I could have beat him. I told you people. And they forced him out. And now they're all like, fuck, what do we do?
Well, the issue is that they really folded their hand in the terms of you guys knew his mental acuity was declining, right? Mm-hmm. So this gave you ample time to run a Newsom, anybody else. You hid Kamala for 3 years, excuse me, and didn't want anybody interviewing her, didn't want anybody talking to her. She was labeled the border czar, and obviously we all know how that went. But when you come down to it, then you see Biden get trampled in the debate
with Trump.
With Trump, the first debate, and the whole nation got to see on live display his mental acuity declining. What the fuck? Like, and now all of a sudden you insert someone, and yeah, of course, like, I think that's one of the biggest issues politicians and our leaders have is they, like you said just a moment ago, they want to tell us what to think and what to feel. So when they skipped all of our rights in the primaries and actually being able to vote for our representative, they thought that shit fell on deaf ears. They thought nobody noticed.
Yeah, they'll do what we say. And
today in 2024, people are fed up with the bullshit, and especially the government bullshit.
Yes.
You know, so to me, the Democrats dorked themselves.
They really did.
For sure, you know. And like I said, I don't necessarily have a dog in the race. You know, everybody knows how I feel about politicians in general. But you gave Trump that edge.
They really did. You know, and she's going off the rails. Like, she's half in the bag, like drunk.
Shut up.
She's drunk a lot.
Really?
Like, she's drinking. She
probably can't handle it.
No, I was watching. She came out in Detroit last night. Like, Trump's in Detroit, she's in Detroit.
Is that where Lizzo?
That's where Lizzo, said the thing about.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Go ahead. Yeah.
She comes out, supposed to speak for an hour, did 6.5 minutes.
What?
And she's like, "Thank you, Detroit. We're gonna do it." Like.
So she was like tipsy.
Like, yeah, like they were saying, like, yo, she partied the night before, was wasted, and then just couldn't do it. But she was like,
sorority girl, bro.
She was like, fuck this shit, basically. Like 6.5 minutes, and was like,
gotta go.
And walked away. And like, it's a bad. Trump's in Detroit at the same time. They're battling for Detroit, and
she just gave up.
Yo, and then that's when I was like, yo, Democrats have a tension to do, like, put people in just bad situations, like, just for whatever reason they want to do. But, like, she's folding hard.
Now, these parties have strategists. Who the fuck is letting that happen? You know, so like Trump, and for anybody that doesn't know, these parties are machines, right? So this is just the person in front of the machine, right? They're pushing that person, whether it be Trump or whoever, you know, Kennedy, Kamala, Tulsi, it doesn't matter, name whoever. These campaigns are machines behind these people, and they hire political strategists to say, hey, look, you know what, like, and we talked about this on the last episode, but like the last debate, I felt like they had Kamala pretty solidly prepared. Like she was calm, she was collected, she, you know what I mean, she did what she had to do. She didn't answer any direct question, but she at least didn't fold under the pressure. What strategist is putting her out there in a Detroit, especially Detroit's still falling apart, they still ain't got no clean water.
No.
These people, that's where all of the automotive jobs are.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What is that? How does that make sense for a political party?
I feel like they're stuck. Like they have no option. Like they're forcing her out, but the more they force her out, to where she gets.
The more uncomfortable she is.
The pressure is just pounding on her, and she's probably drinking more.
Yeah.
Like, I need a drink to deal with this shit. Like, she can't answer simple questions, and it's hard for her. She's just like, she's tough.
As a former prosecutor, that's odd to me, because it almost feels like you've always had, like, 'cause we know what time it is. Prosecutors have assistant DAs. And, you know what I mean? So it's like you have a bunch of people that do the work for you. They take it to the trial. They beat the trial. They win it, whatever, and you get the credit.
You're the point person in the office.
Right. You know, so that's kind of what it screams to me, at least, is that she never really had to be hands-on.
No, that's exactly it. You nailed it.
She never had
to, even in the Senate.
Never had to be hands-on.
Never had to be hands-on. There was a clip yesterday where Chuck Schumer's giving a speech, like they're getting ready to pass a bill, and she's shooting the shit with Gerard Brown, like right behind him at the press conference, and he's like, chill.
Like, yo.
And she like, it was like she was a schoolgirl. She was like, oh, wow, sorry, like, and that shit just was like, yo, they just carried her all the way along. Yeah. And like now she's there, and it's like, holy shit, I got to do my own homework. I got to take my own quiz. Like, she's like melting.
Especially with the notes at the debate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the times they have these rules that they agree upon before the debate. And one of her things was, I need to be able to take notes. Yeah. Trump was like, I don't give a shit. You know, whatever, dude.
Take notes.
Take your notes, bro. But it's indicative of like, okay, you're not really invested in this, you know. And I get it. Some people would be like, oh, she's taking notes, bro, she wants to remember shit. No, if you're the presidential candidate, you would be briefed on all this shit anyway. You're kind of already going to know what Trump's going to say. You already know where he's going to attack you. You're briefed in the idea. It's like doing your homework, like you just said. You got to be prepared. It's like an actor reading the script. Get out there, fight back. You know, it's funny you said Chuck Schumer. I just saw a clip of Trump telling him that he may still have a chance to be president under Kamala.
The first woman.
Trump told Chuck Schumer, for anybody Google this clip, I've said it time and time again, Trump is hilarious. He is a comedian.
Real shit.
You know, and he told Chuck Schumer that he still had a chance of being the first woman president.
He did.
So
they got a nice clip. Like that was at the Alfred E. Smith foundation dinner, which, by the way, Kamala skipped.
Stop it.
None of the presidential
So is this like a collaborative thing? Like those dinners?
Oh, so all of them come together. So it's Democrats, Republicans, everybody.
So kind of bipartisan.
Yeah, bipartisan for a good cause. And no presidential candidate skips it. I think the last one was 1980 that skipped it. And it's a Catholic foundation.
Sure.
And she skipped it, and she sent in this weird ass video with the chick that smells her underarms.
What? I don't know. You got to explain this.
So this is the Saturday Night Live skit from like the 90s. She's
got the like this?
Yeah. Oh, like this. Yeah. And then.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
She sent a clip in with her doing the skit and like talking about LGBT shit and like all this crazy. It was just weird and awkward. Like, why would you send that? And Trump's there roasting everybody, roasting her,
Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck. But they was all loving him, so Democrats are mad because he had everybody rolling.
Yeah. And when you can bring that levity to the situation, it almost endears you to that person because it's like, oh, okay, he's slaying right now. He's killing.
That's who he's always been, yo.
Yeah.
The dude go to the party, shoot shit, shoot the jokes, like whatever.
You know what's crazy is he's making his rounds on podcasts too.
Yeah, he's
like homeboy went on like Theo Von.
Yeah.
He went on fucking Andrew Schultz's Flagrant podcast. Like he's
Patrick Bet shit.
Yeah, he's hitting a ton of different. He's hitting a different demographic.
He really is.
You know, and it's so crazy that he hasn't done Rogan yet.
I guess he's supposed to. I think Kamala is too.
I would love it.
I think they're trying to put it in works, but that shit would be dope.
It would be huge, you know, because it's like Rogan don't fuck around. You know what I mean? So what ends up happening is and it was funny because Trump had said it like I guess a couple months ago. He was like, I would go on Rogan, but I haven't been invited, you know, and I'm not going to ask, you know. And Rogan like tweeted something or like say word, you know what I mean?
Come on, let's do it.
But I think that's huge in the sense that he is actually willing to do both. You know, because he's a conservative dude. He's a Republican for sure. He doesn't come out and say it.
No, he won't say it, but yeah.
But he everybody knows he is, you know. And for him to do both candidates, is proper. Yeah. Like that's proper.
That's how you should do it. But I'd be interested to see Kamala's on there. Hour and a half, bro. Yeah,
it's an hour and a half, 2 hours, bro. Yeah, Rogan does like 3 hours.
Yeah, easy 3 hours. On
so it's like you have to commit to that, like 3 hours, and then you also have to commit to maybe him asking about your prosecution record. You know, like because he's been adamant about that. Because nobody's talking like throughout this whole thing, like nobody's talking about the shit she did to people in prison in California when she was state prosecutor. You know, and anybody that doesn't know, she was withholding DNA evidence that would let dudes free, and she was also using them for manual labor in California prisons and not letting them leave.
Keep them a little longer.
Right.
Need some more work.
Yep, need some more work. And then also a lot of her cases were being overturned anyway because the lead drug tester, in a sense, like the lead doctor or whoever, I guess professional that was testing the drugs in these cases, was doing the drugs. Like he was high as shit. Like this is all factual. Anybody can go and get the information, you know. But Rogan will ask about that shit. Yeah. You know, so it'll be interesting for sure. But you know, with this many days left to the election, man, I don't know if it'll be before the election. Yeah,
I mean, it's a tight schedule now. It's just a push to the end. Trump had Elon out in Pennsylvania all week, giving away $1 million a day.
To petitioners, right?
Yeah. Make sure you sign that petition. Also, if you send people there, he'll pay you $40.
No shit.
Whoever you refer.
So wait, you get $1 million first?
No, so anybody, if you refer somebody and they sign up, you get $40.
That's
so
cool.
Like if you send out the link, someone signs up. But then once you sign up, you're entered into that draw.
Okay. So it's like a sweepstakes for me.
Like a week sweepstakes. So $1 million per day for the next 17
Pennsylvania,
days. Yeah.
Battleground state. And
now people are like, oh, he's buying the election. He's trying to buy the election.
Well, they said Kamala was like the first candidate to $1 billion.
Like, who gave her $1 billion?
Yeah, stop it, bro.
Like,
but, I mean, they got to have the records for it, but who did it?
How did she raise $1 billion?
That quick?
Like the type of candidate she is. Like she's not overwhelming. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna support her because she does her thing. She has plans. She has this. It's like she raised $1 billion. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, bro.
Crazy.
What's that? That's 1,000. What is it? 1,000. 100 millions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't quote me. But it's just incredible that they would have anybody that would donate $1 billion that quickly. Yeah. And I get it. There is I guess for anyone anti-Trump, you know what I mean? They're going to go and donate that money.
Yeah.
Anybody that's sitting there saying, oh, this is a threat to democracy, got to pay that money.
Yeah. And it's, like some of her policies are just concerning. Like, she hates the Constitution. Like,
she's like socialist in a sense, right?
She's like, we can't let people say what they want to say no more, so that's free speech.
Yeah, that's
like,
insane.
The guns, social media needs to be regulated. Like, we need to be able to take people's accounts if we don't like what they're saying, type of stuff.
Which is actually happening in countries right now.
It's happening.
With Brazil, I believe it was, that Elon is in a huge court battle with, and the UK. But Brazil is a big one right now because they all but kicked X out.
Yeah.
And he was allegedly having the Starlink satellites. Like, okay, you can get X, but the president down there, who he felt like was a good dude at the time, is basically flip-flopping now and saying, no, free speech it's not free.
It's not. No, you can't say what you want to say, which makes sense though, because the free speech, man, really gives people the voice to fight against the system that's so big.
Yeah.
And powerful. Without that free speech, you can't reach new minds and fight back in a way. We're not going to roll up on the government like with their weapons and shit, obviously.
Well, it's control.
Yeah.
It's control. So when you control a narrative, just like we saw with COVID, people fall in line. You obviously have the people that don't, but a majority fall in line. And in cases like Brazil, they don't want something like a United States of America free speech.
No. Because
again, then you see the corruption in politics.
Yeah.
And you start to see the lifelong politicians, and down there they're subject to a lot of coups and shit like that. But at the same time, if you control that information or the spread of information, and that's the best way people get together now is online, you can't form those militias. You can't form those things that are going to aid in fighting back against the government. And just for the record, for anybody that's listening, we have an obligation in our Constitution to overthrow a tyrannical government. We have an obligation. That's what the Second Amendment's really for. I don't want to say really for, because it encompasses a lot of things, but it was to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. Who gets to decide what a tyrannical government is? Because nowadays, you even put any idea out there that you're going to be in a militia, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're labeled a domestic terrorist
right away.
And you're sent to prison on terrorism charges, treason charges. They do not allow you to really be that American that, like Ben Franklin, back then, that were putting the militias together. Like, we're going to fight against the crown.
Yeah.
You can't do that. It's oxymoronic.
Yeah, and that's part of it. Is that's what they're afraid of, is that fight coming. And like part of that American pact with Elon and the 17 million is about the Constitution. You know what I mean? Like, to support the Constitution, and I'm on some shit like they with the Constitution. It's crazy because there's a lot of shit like, well, they were slave owners and shit like that. Like that's kind of the democratic way. Like, should we be following people who own slaves types of deal?
Yeah, it's an out for them.
But that framework was the same thing that would allow the slaves to be free. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, they had slaves and whatnot. Like George Washington is one of my favorite characters from history. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he owned slaves though.
He owned slaves. You know what I'm saying? But I can also be like, yo, George did amazing things outside of that slavery part. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's something at the time that they did. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure, like, looking back, they'd be like, nah, we don't really want to fuck with that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But whatever. But
they were a product of their time, though.
Of their time. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I always, like, appreciate that framework because they're like, and they even said, like, it's not perfect, like, but this is the framework that we can keep working. Like us having this podcast is moving us forward. You know what I mean? Like,
we get to have
we
the
can keep fighting for that and changing it and making it better. You know what I'm saying? Over time. So, like, the Constitution, man, I took an oath in the Guard. Like, yo, I'll defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. You know what I'm saying? And that's real shit because that's our framework. You know what I'm saying? That we can work within. That's always true.
How do you think soldiers that aren't completely brainwashed feel about that?
Oh, I mean,
you get what I'm saying, because now you take the oath,
yeah,
but your orders are domestic terrorists. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you reconcile that?
See, that's the thing. It's like, that's more of the co-op because it's foreign and domestic, right? So like George Soros or any of these cats, like people that are attacking our way of life is our enemy. But you look at the guys in Asheville just trying to help out. Now they're domestic terrorists. So if you're the military, then I think the military would stand down, honestly. I don't think that our military will do some things. But that's also, I think, a key component to the immigration thing.
Right.
We'll give you citizenship if you serve.
Sure.
Those dudes would open up.
Well, yeah, of course. But what always kind of bothered me is that it's not going to be so, like, you joined the National Guard around here, right?
Coast Guard.
Yes, excuse me. Around here. They would have deployed you to California. So you're not exactly going where your family is or your friends or anything like that. You're going somewhere else to a potentially hostile situation because these people they're fucking fed up.
Yeah.
But they would never deploy a battalion from Albany, New York to Albany.
No.
They're going to put you out there with people you don't know and then put you in that position. So it's like I honestly believe too that people would stand up and they would say, no, this ain't right.
Because you would want the soldiers in your neck of the woods to do the same. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You'd be like, I wouldn't want cats opening up on my community.
Right.
Like that would be the hope. You know what I mean? But foreign military, like UN comes in.
Right. What can you do?
They're from other countries. They don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. And it brings us to, like, I guess a little segue, but we're seeing that happen right now with North Korea and the Ukraine. Because
holy shit.
Russia, I don't know if you obviously saw it, but for anybody listening, North Korea just sent something like 15,000 troops to Russia to be trained and put on the front lines. When does this become a world war?
I think we're already there.
Right?
We're already there.
They're just sugarcoating it right now.
Yeah,
it's like,
we're already there.
Because the U.S. just deployed soldiers to the Middle East to man those what are they? The fucking shit. Now I can't remember what they're called, but they're like a defense system.
Defense.
Damn, THAAD. THAAD
Yeah.
systems. And it was something like 150, 200 troops. I'm just predicting the future. What happens when those 150, 200 troops are hitting a strike
Oh,
and killed?
yeah.
Because we put them there. Now, at what point do we go in there? And I think I sent you an article the other day, but it was, I almost feel like they had sent both to Israel and to the Ukraine, like soldiers in each direction to fight Russia and then to fight Hamas and Hezbollah and shit like that. So it's interesting because it goes to that point. Like, what happens when you have those foreign soldiers?
The soldiers are there.
You know?
They're, and North Korea, they sent some to the border with South Korea. And Xi in China just said for his troops to get ready, prepared for war. And, I mean, you got Taiwan hanging out there. Like, it's all...
You see the flexes they've been doing in Taiwan too, right?
Yeah.
It's like China just had a huge, they blocked them in or something with their like
blockade.
With their carriers and shit. Like they like just circled the island of Taiwan.
And I think so. Like these cats know Trump. Trump is definitely against war shit.
Yeah.
So he
wants to make money, bro.
Yeah. Which that's what it should be, man. Fuck all that shit. He said the other day. We can't even take care of our own shit. How the hell are we gonna tell other people what to do? Like, we can't even run our own country.
Did you see the statement he made as well, that he was like, I'm mad at all of them?
No.
Excuse me, but the quote I'm gonna fuck up, but essentially he was like, no, I'm mad at everybody. He's like, I'm mad at the Republicans, I'm mad at the Democrats, I'm mad at anybody that's pushing the war right now. You know, and it was like a big deal because you obviously don't usually say that to the party that's backing you.
No.
You know, but at the same time, it's a good thing to say because it's like, wait, how did we get here? You know, even all the proxy wars, we're not just talking about what's going on right now. We're talking about the footprint that America has in the rest of the world. We are the warmongers. We're sending all the money. We're sending all. You want a ceasefire? You stop providing the fire, right?
You just stop. You just stop fire. Yeah. You just stop sending weapons.
That's what I mean. So when it comes down to it, it's, you know, we're not pushing for ceasefires. We're pushing for companies like Blackwater to go in there and remodel.
Yeah,
we're pushing
we want war.
We want
the money machine. Yeah, money machine to keep going. Then the Democrats are coming apart because all the young cats are like, stop providing weapons.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are committing genocide.
Right.
Which is crazy because the older heads in the Democrat Party is like, shut up. Like, yeah,
you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, you guys are. So they're kind of tearing apart too because the Democrats used to be against war.
Yeah.
Like, now they're like, we want more war.
But eventually,
war with Russia.
Eventually, what happens though, Irv, is you find those suckers, right? Yeah. So in each party, at some point in time, there were some solid cats that were like, "Fuck you, we're not doing the war." Then there were people that came in that could be bought, you know, or they're on their way out of politics. So it's like, yo, let's get this bag real quick.
Let's get this bag. Yeah.
Let's get this bag.
I think Raytheon, one of the arms suppliers just got a huge ass fine.
Really? For what?
Yeah. Let me see. I think it was Raytheon. Got fined for some shit, and they never get fined.
Yeah, I mean,
they can do whatever the hell they want.
Well, right, because they're a government contractor. They're just like Halliburton or Skunk Works or Lockheed Martin. Raytheon is huge. No. I was going to say Dick Cheney was Halliburton, right?
Halliburton, yeah.
Yeah, he was like the CEO of Halliburton and then stopped to be the fucking vice president and then literally picked right back up as like the head of fucking...
It was Raytheon, bro.
Really? What is it?
Fined $950 million. overcharging the government for weapons.
That's the only time they get in trouble?
Yeah.
Is when they overcharge the government?
They've been overcharging forever.
All
of them.
That's fucking
and they just got fined for it. I was like, what?
That's so cool.
Yeah, yep, 950 million.
Like that's like some real dork shit. It's like you can go and kill everybody else financially and with weapons and shit, but as soon as you fuck with us, we're gonna find you.
We're gonna find your ass, which I don't know who.
Which will take in
that
free
down.
weapons.
Yeah.
We don't want to pay anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're gonna take that.
Send that to Ukraine.
Which is they're basically government, extension of the government.
I would agree.
Yeah, because they swap. So people from the Pentagon go work for Raytheon and
back
vice
and forth.
versa. Yeah, so.
Yeah, they go into, it's called the private sector.
Yeah.
Afterwards, it's like the guys from the CIA as well. Like the director just happened to be at fucking Lockheed Martin for 20 years before, which is convenient. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but quick note: the current director of the CIA was a frequent visitor at Epstein's house. Google that shit.
Was it?
Yeah, he was after the case too. Like after he was a pedophile and all that shit.
Damn.
He wasn't obviously the CIA director at the time.
Yeah, but
he was on his way.
Well, he was CIA anyway.
Yeah. He was intelligence,
Mossad,
right?
Yeah.
He was intelligence or some shit.
That's our guy. You know what I mean?
Yep. So that was just a quick note, but it is wild that Raytheon has to upcharge you on weapons to have any sort of accountability, right? So don't worry about the bombs you're dropping on weddings and churches, and which is bananas that Israel has just been going fucking nuts, bombing all of that shit, hospitals,
whatever,
fucking schools, like refugee camps.
What did they just bombed the UN in Lebanon?
They bombed UN peacekeepers, bro.
Yo, hold that.
And still don't give a fuck. So, excuse the language, but it really is frustrating when the rest of the world is okay with this.
It's
This is defending yourself, or is this mass murder, bro?
No, it's
You struck Iran, you struck Lebanon, you struck the Gaza Strip, you struck
Syria. Who else? They just leaked too.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, Israel's planning to attack Iran, and somebody in the U.S. leaked it to Iran.
Yeah,
it's like shit's getting crazy, bro.
Well, because I think the U.S. is starting to realize that they really have no say in it. So
they got to stop it.
They have to stop it,
or we're going to end up in.
Because the issue is that we were support, and then Israel was like, "No, we're when they were considering hitting the nuclear facilities and the oil fields over there in Iran."
Yeah.
That's when the U.S. was like, "Whoa, like we got to reel these guys in," and then Israel was like, "No, we're not telling you anything about our strikes. We're not telling you anything about our plans. We had to go and get the information ourselves, which is you should be anyway." But Israel was like, "Fuck you."
No, we don't gotta answer to you.
And the rest of the world is just sitting back, like, whatever, dude, do your thing.
Yeah, just rock. I guess the UN's trying, but they don't got no teeth in the matter.
Well, Israel never signed anything to the UN. So, like, when everybody signed, like, whatever the commitment was to the UN or the peace, the pact or treaty, Israel never signed.
No, they won't sign. So I don't know.
Because, again, it feels like it's going to be us against them at some point. You know what I mean? Or it's like, excuse me how I say this, but it's almost like Israel versus everybody. And I'm not saying because that's how I want it to be, but it's like Israel feels like, oh, wait, we can't even trust the U.S.
That's Revelations.
We can't even trust.
That's what Revelation says. The entire world turns against Israel in the final battle.
Yeah, it's insane.
Which is, it's shaping up, right?
Yeah, it really is.
It's shaping up like that. Like, because at some point, we're on that, we can't trust, and the leaking information, and So it's like, okay, here we go. That tie-in, though, it's like everybody marches on them, supposedly, and then the sky cracks open and
But
whatever.
so it's just so, it's like, did God want all this fucking homicide? You know, like, this is God's people. I don't want to frame it like that, but that's you're riding for God.
This is what the text says. Yes.
You're riding for God right now.
Yes.
So it's not like, I don't know.
It's crazy because like the shit at Langley Air Force Base with all the drones right now, like
What?
every day.
What do you mean?
These drones.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about this.
Oh my goodness. These drones are just like controlling Langley Air Force Base.
So they're just like, they're foreign drones, or they just don't know, well, you know what time it is, but
They're
UAPs?
UAPs.
Stop.
Just broad like
Just
zip.
all the time?
All the time. Zip, like 100-mile radius.
You think it's us? It's weird, bro. You know what I mean? Because I just don't see, like, either that we're that powerless, like really that defenseless, or that's us.
The current government has regulations right now that they can't shoot down,
They can't shoot those down
whatever it is.
because they don't know whose it is.
They don't know whose it is or what it is, but on a UFO side, it's like on some mothership shit.
Okay, so
dropping them out and
just like almost reconnaissance.
Like it's picking up. And I mean, a lot of the buzz is like something's coming anyway too. And then
Well, we're due.
yeah, we're due. And then yeah, it's just a lot of like that's going on simultaneously as the crazy shit in the world is going on.
Yeah.
But disclosure is coming as well.
Well, we saw that with Immaculate Conception.
Yeah.
Now, what do you know about Immaculate Conception?
It's just, a government recovery program that's been around
Since the 60s.
since the 60s. But I mean, there's a wing that says it's us. But like I know it's some of it, yes, is us.
Sure.
But it's been going on way too long.
Yeah.
Even before we had flight.
Yep.
To say it's just us. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, part of it is us and part of it is something else.
Definitely.
And
a lot of theories were that we had, well, it was weird, dude. The U.S. Navy, allegedly, and this was leaked allegedly from a secret access program, a SAP guy that was like almost like a Captain K. It was actually Corey Good. I don't know if you ever heard Corey Good.
I heard him. Yeah.
But he had said that the U.S. Navy, not any other branch, but the U.S. Navy had a truce with an extraterrestrial civilization, military, you know what I mean? Like almost like some Space Federation shit, but it's kind of odd that now we don't know, man. We don't know if these people really do, if it is us. Is that Israel sending drones over? Is it a mothership outside the atmosphere?
I think that
Is it interdimensional? One day we're going to walk out and there's fucking a giant spaceship.
because they're bullshit, because I know their radar's sick. I know they know exactly the point that they're coming from. You know what I'm saying? They're saying they're coming from 100 miles out, but like all the new weather
They're not gonna tell
radar
they're
picks up
dropping
all
right
of
now.
that shit too. So
Do you want this, or?
yeah. All the new weather radars can pick that shit up too, so they know exactly where it's coming from and whose shit it is. So if you're not saying it, it leads me to believe that it is non-human intelligence shit.
Sure.
But they're like, you guys are getting a little too close to nuclear war, like, or you need to chill the fuck out type of deal.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of where I was going with like the Russia, Israel, Ukraine, and then the Iran nuclear sites, was because these are real people at war right now. And they are talking nuclear. they're burying the news and shit. But Russia just came out and was like, I fucking dare you to hit Iran's oil fields, or I dare you to hit the nuclear facility. And we're going to step this up a notch. Which is crazy. And really, we saw an uptick in the UAPs, UFOs, flying fucking saucers. You know what I mean? We saw an uptick when we had Hiroshima and we had Nagasaki.
Yeah.
You know, because we had dropped an atomic bomb. We had reached like nuclear capabilities. Mm-hmm. So here we are, height of the war, bro, and we're starting to see them.
And they've been, shutting down the nuclear powered plants and weapons for decades. Yeah, straight decades. And then I think, like, a lot of it, like, I've been looking at, like, part of it, the breakaway civilization shit. Like, there are talks of, like, Atlantis, when...
they dipped.
Yeah, the last cataclysmic happening 12,000 years ago, like, advanced civilization dipped, right?
Yeah.
So, we restarted. All the people on the shit restarted, but they still had their tech. And then, you go 12,000 years underground or under the ocean, just building your tech while we're all still trying to make fire and shit. Like, you're super advanced.
Yeah, well, this correlates. Remember I showed you those stamps over there with Richard Admiral Byrd? This kind of coincides with his story, because he had said in his like deathbed confessions that he had been brought to a place that was inside of Hollow Earth and dealt with this super advanced, like, I wouldn't call them supreme beings, but it was a whole civilization of technology. It was almost Atlantis-like, but on a far bigger scale. So, like, these people had said that they can control, it was almost like Star Wars with the Force. They can control the Force and, like, the Chi, the life force, all of it. They were called the Vrilya. Coincidentally, Adolf Hitler had created the Thule Society to research all of this shit. You know what I mean? Because they had thought that there was a way to win the war, for one, but they were trying to tap into that technology. And Edward Lighton Bolton, I'll have to put it in a link, but he wrote a book about inner Earth. You know what I mean? And they chased it, bro. They chased it, and then Admiral Byrd allegedly confirmed it. Like,
I believe Admiral Byrd.
Me too.
I believe him.
He's got no reason to lie.
He's got no reason to lie.
And he's super decorated. So he was like one of those cats that, like, he, like, even during the height of the war, he was so respected that, like, even the dictators, the Mussolinis, all of them were like, yo, that's the guy.
Yeah, he's breaking records, going where no man's gone before.
Right.
And which is crazy, because the whole shit is like, there really is a fucking Wakanda.
Yeah,
like,
no,
right
for
next
real.
door. Yeah. Right next door, but separate from us.
Yeah.
Which is like, with the fiction, man, it's crazy. It's like,
it's all rooted in fact somewhere.
It's like all of this shit, like, we think is like stories, could be actual reality.
Could be actual.
And we're just, it's just a movie, bro, or it's just a comic. It's just this.
Well, they're starting to learn now too, like with better archaeology, that there used to be some sort of dragon.
Yeah.
There used to be some sort of giant mythical monster in the ocean.
Yeah.
110-foot octopus.
Yeah.
You know, they found, dude. So really, to me, it is like, I feel like our reality was distorted in a sense, you know? So like, again, we had some huge cataclysm to where some had to break off, go underground, whatever. But what if it was really when Mars had to dip? Like, so because at some point in time, Mars was a luscious, it was almost Earth, a better Earth, right? So they said, whatever, and this is speculation, but there was theories that whatever the Van Allen space belt is, like it's a space field of debris of some sort of planet, asteroid, something else, collided with Mars. And they had to dip from Mars. At that time, Antarctica was tropical.
Tropical, yeah.
Pole shift happens, they got to go underground. Or there's a freeze, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's interesting, bro.
So you're saying the breakaway civilization from Mars had to dip.
Yeah, so they came here.
That's why I'm like, we want to go back too. Like,
of course.
If we're from there.
Face
like,
on the moon, pyramids.
We're like, let's go back.
Obelisks.
Like, lava tubes and shit. Like, just civilizations. Which is, this shit's so exciting to me right now because everything's possible.
Yeah.
Like, you can't with a straight face, like, especially us knowing what we know, be like, that's a fucking fact.
Yeah.
Can you?
You can't.
That's a fucking fact.
Yeah, bro. It's wild.
Like, you could, like, Middle Earth, prove me wrong. Like,
it's getting better for us because they keep finding fucking evidence of shit. So they just found that there was like a way bigger ocean, like of water inside the Earth's crust, but it's being held within ringwood or something like that.
Oh, like a soft stone or some shit.
Yeah, no, it's being absorbed
Spongy.
like a sponge.
Yeah.
And it's like something. Oh, shit. Now I got to Google this shit. I don't know what I did with the phone.
That's the subsurface ocean.
Yeah, so it's underneath the Earth's crust. And I wish I had a computer, but either way, it's contained within a certain substrate, like you said, like I want to say it's ringwood, but I know I'm fucking it up. But that's in the core of the Earth. So, as we found with like lava vents and heat vents and thermal vents at the bottom of the ocean, there is life thriving.
Crazy.
Volcanoes thriving. The worst possible conditions on the world, there's life.
Yeah, everywhere hydrothermal vents. They just sent Clipper to Europa.
No shit.
Yeah, I'll get there in 2030.
No
to
kidding.
Discover search the oceans there.
Yikes.
It's got the LiDAR and shit to scan underneath the ice. Because it stretches and shit, so it's heated, it's liquid, and they already know that it's salty water, and they just on SpaceX sent it out.
That's so cool, dude.
2030. I'm like,
so
hyped.
long, so far away.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and they're spinning it around. They get a little boost from Earth. Still, 2030.
Yeah, you get the little boomerang effect.
That's just our solar system.
Yeah, well, as technology gets better, dude, we just can't get out of there. Like, what they send to deep space it wasn't Hubble, was it?
What? No,
there was something that went to deep space. I can't remember.
Voyager. Voyager's out of the solar system.
Yeah,
just
but
barely. Yeah.
Right, just barely, because that's as far as we can reach.
Yeah, in 30 plus years.
Yeah, wild.
Which is like all futile, bro. Because it's like, where are we going? You're not going anywhere, bro.
Well, with the passage of time too, so like that, like we wouldn't see this one Clipper till fucking almost 70 years old.
Yeah,
so it's like, yeah, cool, dude, but that's like chasing fucking Halley's Comet.
You gotta. Yeah, there. It's so vast, man. It's a vast area we live in, and just our solar system. Like, even if we went to Mars, like, to save civilization, some other shit can happen. Just wipe out the whole solar system. It's just like, whatever, man. Let's just live, man. Be about peace. Like, do cool shit like this. Yeah. Like, build shit, solve our world problems together. Like,
good energy, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody should have a crib. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should be able to eat, grub up. Like we have those skills and that technology to make shit like that happen. And until the world does that, like, we're not living right.
Yeah, it's tough, bro, because there are an extreme amount of people that would love that. But then you have shit like the military-industrial complex, where killing people is worth more than the life or people thriving. You know, how many people are going to pass in this war, these wars?
These wars have passed, yeah.
In any war.
Yeah, all of these shit. And it's the same story, man. It's just all money.
All money.
Finance,
greed.
Both sides of the war, you know.
And the control of resources.
And resources.
So instead of everyone having resources, it's like, no. Only us.
Yeah, only us. And we have all the resources we need in the asteroid belt, like unlimited.
Unlimited, bro.
Unlimited. That's why I say about the whole Israel thing. Yo, let's make islands. Like, let's get the Gaza people their own shit. Let's create some fucking large islands. You got a whole new shit. Make it green, make it whatever.
Yeah.
Like, why are we still? I know it's like, yo,
it's tough.
My religion.
It's such a tough thing, though, man. Because like, and I wish I had somebody better to talk to. No offense, but like just the history of that region. You know, because they both say they are there from fucking the start of time. You know, so it's like, who is it? I'm not giving it one way to Israel. I'm not giving it one way to Palestine. But guess what? There is somebody that got kicked out. You know what I mean?
At some point, yeah.
You know,
probably over and over. Not probably, definitely. Over and over and over and over again. For who knows? Man.
But that's what I'm saying. For time immemorial, like just as long as any history books remember, this has been the history of the region.
This is it.
So it's like, shit, dude. Like, how do you tell who to give the island? Do you say Israel gets to keep the land when the Palestinians are saying, wait, that's Palestine?
But if your island is so fucking sick, like it's modern, bro.
I would love it.
It's like Dubai, bro.
Listen, I would love it, but you know that
it's the sect.
You know that's not the time.
Land.
Yeah.
I will suicide bomb that land.
Yeah, right.
I don't give a fuck about your green energy and none of that shit. No.
You're still, but that's it. So it's hard. That whole situation is hard.
That's why I think we're from different places. There's different species of us.
Yeah, of course.
Like, some of us may be from Mars. Like, some may be from a moon or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
certain lineages.
Talking about, like, the overarching Anunnaki shit, like, or interdimensional shit where they can plant us here on Earth. Like,
we're not all going to be
We brought some people from here. And we brought some people from here. These people work together usually. These people just want to kill and fight or whatever. Like, it's just like...
Or is that the reptile gene? Or
the reptile, reptilian brain.
You know, so it's like...
That's the same story, right?
It's the same exact story that we were created. And there might be part reptile in us.
And like the Tower of Babel, for instance, like we were working together to build something sick, whether it was a DNA ship or...
who knows what it was?
Right. Or a supercomputer or whatever, but God was like, I don't like this. You guys are trying to be like me and have all of the knowledge. So boom, I'll destroy your shit and then I'll confuse all of your language.
Yeah.
So now you motherfuckers won't work together. Yeah. But then I'm questioning, like, why wouldn't God want us to rock like that? Like, why wouldn't a God, so which the Anunnaki story, they don't want us to work together.
No.
So
they did and they didn't.
They don't.
So they wanted us to be slaves and work towards this goal of serving them.
Not reach their level though.
But not exactly. We were in a fishbowl.
Yes.
So what ends up happening is as soon as we start reaching for the top, they put the lid on.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, bro. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
That's for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
We're the creator.
Yeah. And if you go by those stories, that's kind of what exactly happened is we got too smart for their own good. And they were like, well, wait, you know, that's why we had the worship gene, the reptilian brain, the work. Go build.
Collect.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, And then once we said, hey, wait, hold on.
This is bullshit.
This is bullshit.
I don't want to work like this.
I don't want to slave like this. And then also the chase for gold. What's listen, I don't wear jewelry like that, right? But most of the people I know got their gold earrings, the gold bracelet, the gold chain, you know what I mean? It's like,
this is the only gold, and I got it from my pops.
No, listen,
guys,
I understand, and most people don't think like this.
It just lasts, though.
No,
I can shower, I can do what I don't have to take it off.
Well, it's the most precious metal on Earth. And why is that? Because that's what we used to get.
That's what we're here to do.
Right.
So imagine, right? So the Anunnaki got us mining gold, right? So we're getting gold. They probably didn't let us rock it because they wanted it, right?
No, they needed it.
So the Anunnaki bounced, and we're like, now I got the fucking gold, bro.
Yeah.
Look at this shit.
Yeah.
Look at this shit.
I mean, it's possible, but you got to think, if they tried to restart civilization like the Great Floods, there is historical evidence that there was multiple Great Floods.
Everywhere.
So, which we'll get to in a second, but they just found a boat-like structure on Mount Ararat that they think is Noah's Ark, allegedly, but we'll get to that in a second. There has been evidence of these great floods. So at what point does humanity say, all right, I got to get the gold again?
I got to get the gold.
I got to wear it. It's got to be mine.
So you relearn it. We relearned if we started over, right?
Or we already inherently know that that's what makes us godly.
We already,
That's why a Tutankhamun would have a pure gold mask.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like,
be buried with the gold
of the gods.
And that's the tie-in, because I just keep seeing the story over and over. Yeah. It's not like, whether it's Christianity, Muslim, whatever, bro.
Buddhism, Hindu,
weird shit, all of them. You know, just folklore, Indian tribes, like African tribes, like all over the world. Like, it's the same fucking story.
Same story, bro. And that's any story that predates a certain one God, like monotheism, right? That's the one. Monotheism is the belief in one God.
Yeah.
Or is it multiple?
No, that's one.
Polytheism, right?
Polytheism.
So monotheism, that's when I feel like the control started to go. You know what I mean? That's when people took advantage of because before that, bro, it was really like paganism. It was like you believed in the earth, you believed in the sun, you believed in the moon, you believed in the tides,
whatever.
You know, whatever was going to, you were going to be sufficient on. You know, this is how you live. And then once they started taking and saying, okay, well, no, this is Jesus Christ, and I'm just using him as an example, or Muhammad, or whoever.
Yeah.
We're going to take this and we're going to steamroll it into this control base that is very, very. We can get all the gold, bro. We could be the most wealthy. We could be the ones in power. And it goes throughout history. Alexander the Great, Caesar, you fucking what's his face there? The guy that fucking most of the world can. Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
It's
all gold.
All gold. So, in one way, shape, or form,
all gold.
But it's wealth.
It's
power. Control.
I just think that God, like at least a God that I would think would be like, I want these guys to work together.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, obviously you're gonna have shit, but like, or a theme to just rock with, not be like hating on us. Like, nah, I don't want them to fuck. They shouldn't be working as one.
Yeah. Well, I think in a perfect Bible, or in a perfect religion, God, there wouldn't have been, if there was this like all-powerful being to me, there wouldn't be hate. It would be utopia. It would be like, no, how in my heart can I even have hate? How in my heart can I even have war? Like the idea of hurting someone else shouldn't be present.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
You've existed forever.
Right.
And you're gonna exist forever. Unless you're just bored and you're like, this shit's not really a big deal. Like,
Yeah.
this
Right.
shit's fucking entertainment. And I think a lot of the Pentagon shit is like, we don't want to tell people that shit.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Like, we know, like, the origin stories, and it's not.
Yeah, well, it's all been manipulated.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. We just, the whole shit will unravel.
Yeah, well, listen, I hope honestly that this shit, it does. I hope more people keep opening their minds and, you know, and start looking at these ancient documents and these ancient stories. And
it's a way forward, man. It's
it
how we
really is.
It's how we move forward, by remembering who we really are.
Yeah, well, again, it's been convoluted, polluted, and corrupted.
Yeah.
So, and I've always felt like this is just a stop on the road of eternity, man.
Yeah.
Like, death is another step to the, you call it heaven, call it wherever you want, but it's the next experience as energy.
Shit. I've been telling the boys, like, we've been here forever.
Yeah.
Like, especially our shits, we're stardust.
Yeah.
So we've been here.
And I feel like in that setting, it's the same thing. Like the energies that are consistent with you, like your children, like your family, these are the particles that have always been together in whatever human form.
Quantum entangled.
Right.
Facts, bro.
Exactly.
Facts.
For always.
Always.
Yeah.
From the pinpoint start of the universe to the boom, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything's connected. We've always been.
Always been.
Always been. Mm-hmm. Which is, like, I'm trying to, because my mind won't, because I'm programmed, I sat in school, so part of it is reprogramming. Like,
it really is. It's it's clearing the hard drive.
Yes.
And then updating as you can.
And as you get the new information, new understanding, and you feel it internally, like, you feel it spiritually, like, yeah, this is right. This is right for me. So it's like, just keep that advancement going. Just keep whatever. But I think I always want to evolve. I always want to learn. I'm always looking for new information.
Yeah.
I'm always like, that's just like life for me.
Well, it's addictive.
Yeah.
Because once you start seeing something broader than, I'm sure you've seen someone's mind blown about something. Like, no way, dude. And then it just dawns on them like, fuck, dude, like, you're right. Or not so much you're right, but I have a different perspective now. It's hard to get people to think outside the box because of the mainstream shit we're fed, but people are doing it, man.
Yeah,
and
it's an awakening. And each individual's got to do their own work. You got to definitely do your own work. Like, knock ideas off like we do, or with people you trust and love. But
do some serious
my
research.
Understanding and my awakening is for me.
Yeah, it is.
And you know what I mean? Like, I'm happy with my awakening, but I am also happy to share in that awakening too,
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. And a big thing about it is killing the ego.
I know.
Kill it. I mean, everybody's going to have some ego and a lot of confidence, but at the same time, your ego is the reason for most of the things that you feel fucked up about, or cause a lot of distance in relationships and shit like that, and thought processes. Kill that shit. It opens you up so much more to all of this new information, new energy, a new vibe. And you could do that a number of ways.
Yeah, and it's always there too, the ego and shit. Like,
yeah, it's there.
It's
never
an
really
example, like, I don't know, somebody cuts you off and shit, like, in traffic. Now you're tight, like, fuck that asshole.
Yeah.
Like, that's ego, you know what I'm saying? Or like, maybe I shouldn't apologize, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that, I'm not apologizing, you know what I'm saying? I just won't, like, that's ego shit. Like, and I know it's there, and it's everyday fucking battle.
It really
everyday
is.
battle. You just gotta keep at it.
And it feels good to not have all the negative vibes,
Yeah.
like the fuck yous, the different shit, you know, like don't sit on it, don't let it, don't sleep on it for sure, and let it go.
Yeah, be like, yo, I'm sorry. I just drop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm sorry, or my bad.
Accountability is a big deal.
Yeah, or just like, you know, like even like my wife today was just like, was this a planned podcast or did it just happen? I'm like,
it always just happens.
it was planned, kinda. It's like a, hey, Sunday, no time frame, like, and then we just rock. And so like, I'm like, what the fuck does it matter? Ego.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I just was like, I hear you and I understand where you're coming from.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And she was like, oh, thank you for, you know, understanding that. But my ego wanted to be like, the fuck does it matter? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's a guy thing, you know? You feel like it's not a big deal to us. Like, we'll just go do it. But it was hard to do, but it was easier to say that, you know?
Well, it also saved, you know, anything negative that could have came after that.
Yeah, now she's tight, or I really hurt her feelings.
You're in an argument.
I'm in an argument, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I may even be like, fuck that, I ain't podcasting tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's on the psyche.
It's just a whole spiral, you know? And, but it was that short thing where, like, my ego wanted to be like beat on the chest and shit.
Yeah.
But it's like, I hear you and I understand. You know, we're still gonna podcast, but I hear you for future, whatever. You know.
Yeah, we could try to probably plan them a little bit better, but I like the way we roll because it's like, again, it's almost not. I don't want to say random because it will be like a Sunday.
It's organic.
Yeah, it's organic.
Yeah.
It's not really forced. It's not like you have to go into a time and be like, "Oh, dude, I'm ready for this time."
This is our plan. It doesn't work for us. No. Like we always got mad shit going on.
Yeah.
Business stuff, family stuff, like whatever. So like, but I tell you one thing, it's awesome every time we do.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's so much fun, man.
And I needed to today too. I just needed to talk and, you know, get shit off my chest. And this is therapeutic for me too. And I'm sure it is for you too.
Listen, we've actually gotten quite a few. I sent them to you. You know, we have fans out there, man, that we have touched in one way, shape, or form. And we are pumped to be here for you guys and always provide a spot where, you know, we can have that level of comfort and be able to just let it roll. You know? A lot of times about conspiracy shit. It's never personal.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. That's how we let it off, and we have a lot of fun doing it. And the people that connect with us, you know where the brain is at already. You already know what time it is.
Yes, sir.
We're here, you know. But we definitely have a whole bunch of cool things coming up. We're trying to touch the community in certain ways, and make sure you guys reach out. Stop at 97 Congress Street, Troy, New York for the toy drive and the turkey drive. And make sure you give all of our sponsors a follow. We got Clean Environmental, we got Hathaway Construction and Remodeling, we have Supreme Wax, jmurrayathletics.com, The Finishers LLC, Ascend Digital Marketing. Our team is growing. And if I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. Oh, Dapper, Flippers Barbershop. You know.
Randy too. Randy
R&R Masonry.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And we appreciate all you guys, and it's huge that you guys always help us to make these things happen, man. It's fun, and it really touches the community, and we do it just to do it. And thank you. And if you're listening, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, drop us a comment, and we'll catch you on the next episode, man.
Peace.